everyone, welcome to Cyberethics. In today's tutorial, we'll talk about cryptocurrency and blockchain. A big news came on 20th July when we came to know that MasterCard is encouraging cryptocurrency firms to become a partner in their new cryptocurrency card program. This would give a huge boost to the current cryptocurrency market. So now let's talk about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency. That means that it does not have any physical form. You cannot hold it in your hands like cash or coins. It is based on a decentralized network technology called blockchain. This whole thing about cryptocurrency started when the most famous cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin, was launched in 2009 by Satoshi Nakamoto. So this person or a group of people that are using this alias have launched this Bitcoin in 2009. There are a number of cryptocurrencies available in the market right now. The famous ones are Ethereum, Monero, Zcash, etc. So now comes the question, how does this whole blockchain technology work? So before going into that, let's first try to understand why do we need blockchain? What is the problem with the traditional methods that were used for the transactions earlier? So to understand this, let's take an example of a school in which we have a class of 40 students and a teacher. The school has some rules like you can only come to school in proper uniforms, you cannot fight in school, and you cannot harm the school's property. So for the students to comply with all these rules, the teacher appoints one of the student of the same class as the discipline in charge. So this person would be responsible for collecting fine from the students who break the school rules and keep a record of it. So this discipline in charge is the only person who can collect the fine and can keep the record of the fine collected. If you look closely, in this situation we see a lot of issues. The first one is when the discipline in charge is not present, no fine is collected, and the students create a lot of chaos in the school. The second one is the discipline in charge can abuse his position and can ask for more money from some of the students. The third one is the discipline in charge can help his friends and not take any fine from them. The fourth one is the discipline in charge can change the records of the fines collected and can keep the money to himself. So all these things are happening because discipline in charge is the centralized authority here. He is the only one who's regulating this fine collection system, and because of it, he's the only one who's keeping a record of it. And because he has so much power, he can take advantage of it and can cause harm to the system. So when the teacher came to know about all these issues, she tried to remediate it through blockchain. So what she did is, she removed the discipline in charge from his position, and now all the students are at the same level. So nobody is privileged now. So whenever a student breaks any rule and pays a fine, in that condition, all the 40 students make a record of it. And all of them are aware of the fines collected. So even if the student tries to lie about it that he has already paid the fine, all the students can check their records and can argue that the fine is still not paid. This makes the whole system very transparent and trustworthy. So why this name blockchain? Blockchain means that it is a chain of blocks that are connected. A block is nothing but data or information. In the case of Bitcoin, this data is the information regarding a transaction that is going on. It contains the sender and receiver information in the form of their digital signatures as well as the amount of the Bitcoin that is being sent. The block also contains a special value, that is an alphanumeric value called as a hash value, that is unique and which distinguish this block from all the other blocks. It also contains the hash value of the previous block. So all these blocks collectively makes the public ledger, and all the nodes on the network can see it and have the copy of this ledger. So the question is, how do we add blocks to the public ledger? In the case of Bitcoin blockchain, a block can have a size of 1 MB. So here we can have multiple transactions in a block. So a block can only be added to the blockchain when the transactions are verified by the miners. As we know that transactions can be verified at the same time by multiple miners, so we need a consensus algorithm that is used to choose the miner who will have the privilege to add the block to the blockchain. Bitcoin uses proof of work (POW) as a consensus algorithm. In this, every miner has to compete with other miners and solve a puzzle that is based on guessing work. It requires a lot of processing power and time to validate a transaction. So a miner who gets the solution first is going to broadcast it to the other nodes, and the other nodes are going to validate it. And if they find that the solution is correct and the transaction has been validated, then that block is given a unique hash, and then that block would be added to the blockchain. And the miner who came up with the solution is rewarded by giving him the bitcoins for his work. Blockchain is based on three basic concepts that are distributed, decentralized, and immutable. As in this video, we have covered the distributed and decentralized aspect of blockchain. We are going to cover the immutable aspect in the coming videos. If you want me to cover this topic, do mention it in the comments down below. And that's it for the video, guys. And I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and like this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.